7 billion Sing dollars. That was how much Singaporeans blew on legal gambling activities in 2003. That works out to be approximately 9,000 Sing dollars per punter. But that's just the tip of the gambling iceberg. It's been estimated that illegal gambling activities could have raked in as much as another 2 billion Sing dollars underground. And further from our shores, Singaporeans are said to have gambled away another 1 billion Sing dollars in overseas casinos each year. Adding up the billions wagered every year on games of chance, perhaps it's not an overstatement to say that Singapore is, well, a gambling society. This is what Simsia does to make ends meet. Each trip pays about $250, and this is split between him and his co-workers. It's not just a bag-breaking job, but it's also a far cry from the live and easy money he was familiar with less than 10 years ago.
哇，一天我能赚到最少能赚到500-600块，最多呢我能赚到1000多块。
Simsia was part of a secret society which ran illegal gambling dens in Singapore. Before the heavy hand of the law caught up with him, he was an illegal bookie and a loan shark.
然后大概一间房间里面一个赌场里面会多大？然后可以容纳几个人？
大概是好像一个客厅这么大，这样可以容纳到20-30个人。 这里会比较多人来赌，这样会比较每次大多数都会3天就会来做一次。
警察3天就来 raid 一次。
对，所以会比较麻烦一点，所以我们会每次一直搬来搬去了。
That was in early 2000. GetRail contacted the Gambling Suppression Unit to find out if illegal gambling dens are as prevalent as before. The police declined to be interviewed, but they gave us some numbers. In fact, 28 people were arrested in a raid in Joo Chiat on May 2004. The operators were from the gang Simsia once belonged to. Simsia himself was busted 2 years ago. The raids were frequent and the penalties harsh, yet die-hard gamblers were willing to take the risk. Just how did they get so hooked?
因为赌徒来讲，所谓的赌鬼，只要有赌他们就去，不管是legal还是illegal，他们都是要去赌的。因为这些人有的我们会跟他们说得很清楚的，因为如果他们来的话，如果被捉的话，罚款是在于我们还的，我们会帮你们还。
Those people who come to your gambling dens, obviously when they win, you can expect them to come back again.
Yes.
What happens when they lose?
当他们输的时候，大多数他们输到，我们就要看他们定点，看他们输了多少。如果是大的话，他们输了很多，我们会包一个红包，里面大概有200-300块，甚至到500块给他们，就是给他们一个利息这样啊。 给他们利息，他们回去的时候，他们会想，哇，还有钱拿，这样下次会吸引他们，还会再来。
In all his years on the wrong side of the law, Simsia has seen his fair share of winners and losers. A compulsive gambler himself, he was just one of many losers. In 2 years, Simsia lost close to $200,000.
如果是输钱的话呢，你要从哪里找钱来周转呢？
哇，输钱的话，那个时候我们就要头很痛啊，一直都在想，因为以前我是做大龙的，所以我会想办法在那边把钱给拿过来。
今日執呢邊興啊！
Simsia's case is not unique. Surveys show that 3 out of 10 gambling addicts engage in crime to support their habits.
我们就很喜欢去赌博，对啊，赌的时候他的瘾是很冲刺的。
At the height of his addiction, Simsia's wife took the kids and left him. A failed suicide attempt and 2 jail sentences later, Simsia no longer gambles. Instead, he spends most of his time at this halfway house helping others to overcome their addiction.
你赌博的习惯对你的家庭生活有些什么样的影响？
哇，影响到了。那时候我赌的时候，我完全没有回家。第二，我不顾家，我把全部的钱全部都投资在赌那边，这样远离我的家里的人，我老婆、我孩子，都一切都不顾。
After the break.
现在啊，有这种船厂来啊，是有所谓的离哥的嘛。离哥的他们大多数都是老板，现在他们也不是要去冒险的，所以他们要去赌会比较放心一点。全部的大老板都跑去那边赌了。
Not having a casino in Singapore is obviously not much of a deterrent to hardcore gamblers. Some Singaporeans will go through, well, not exactly hell, but high water, literally for a chance to make some easy money. Their destination, a floating casino anchored an hour and a half away.
大概多久去一次？
1个礼拜2趟去咯。
这样你一次去待多久啊？待几个钟头啊？
赢钱就回喽。大多数是输了，输到光了。
哎呦，大多数输你还去啊？还1个礼拜去2、3次啊？为什么呢？
手痒吗？我是退休人士吗？没有事情，只是在那边去那边走走玩玩而已嘛。
这样你认为为什么那么多新加坡人喜欢到那里去呢？
兴趣嘛，有的兴趣玩嘛，赌啊，有的兴趣的。
新加坡没有得赌吗？
没有，
为什么呢？
会抓嘛。
跟那个云顶的里面的那些赌具差不多一样的。
All are old one lah, young one certain go lah.
But you think it's safe or not? I mean, you go on the boat, you give them
But
their
this one
passport.
they say very safe.
I've been here over an hour and most people are not willing to be interviewed on camera. They tell me that they don't want other people to know that they're going gambling. Others say they were here without their family's knowledge. In fact, one woman told me that if her husband ever found out that she's going gambling, he'll kill her.
But I did notice that almost all of those headed for the floating casino were senior citizens. It could be because people above the age of 45 are given a special rebate. While most people shy away from the camera, we managed to coax one woman to share her experiences, on the condition of anonymity.
People in the casino I see are usually Singaporeans. I usually see women in their 50s who are Chinese. As for me, I come 3-4 months once, but each time I come, I'll see the same person. Some of the people here I see, they stay at the table the whole day. They don't eat, they don't bathe. Well, if they are tired, they take a nap outside the corridor. And after which, they go back to the table again.
It's been reported that some 1,000 Singaporeans visit overseas casinos each day. And Leisure World is one of the more popular ones because its proximity to Singapore allows for day trips. But as the company did not respond to GetRail's queries, we couldn't verify these figures, nor could we find out how much Singaporeans gamble away on board.
If those people, after they've lost, they run out of money, there are people around to offer to lend them, but of course with interest, which I don't know. The loan sharks, they carry a pouch and they walk around, idle around to see who is in need of money. And then they will approach them. Each time I come here, I saw about 20 over loan sharks walking around.
Despite the presence of predatory loan sharks, those we met say legal casinos are a safer alternative to illegal gambling dens. But councillors worry that because of its accessibility, such casinos could spawn more gambling addicts, a problem that often goes undetected.
I suppose in Singapore, I think part of our cultural habits really is that we do gamble on special occasions. For example, during Chinese New Year, a lot of people see gambling as a sort of social activities. And because of that, I think it's difficult for people to actually recognize it as a problem.
I want to share that I'm a gambler and also like to take a loan shark from, to borrow money from other people just to gamble.
It took Ken more than 10 years to face up to this, that an innocent game had become a vice.
So that we can help each other, so we can support each other in this recovery.
When you first started playing mahjong, did you think that you were going to get addicted to it?
Oh no, never. It's like very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable, Like for us friends play. Then sometimes you can win the money. Then it's like every card you come out, it's every time a new type of patterns. Then it's very enjoyable. Then I seem to like it very much.
At what point did you realize that you were beginning to gamble a little bit too much and that you were spending too much money?
Well, some of my friends say that when you want to gamble with us, you make sure you have a capital. So I did find a way. I asked my friend, how do I get a capital, whatever. So she recommended me a loan shark. First time we start with 1,000, right? Then he will take 1,000 too. So we borrow, we guarantee each other. That means. So, but access to the gambling, I since that been losing and losing most to my friends.
First, it was mahjong. Then Ken's friends
England,
introduced him
1,000.
to soccer betting.
Then Norway, 500. Then check on me, is it the ball, half ball or one ball? Okay? Okay, see you, bye-bye. When you bet, you see the television with them, it's like you're so excited, very excited. Then you just very shocked, So I think maybe I try. I see whether I can win some money or not.
When a person becomes addicted to gambling, I think the whole concept differs. They get a high just by placing a bet, and winning the money or losing the money no longer becomes important. So even if they're losing week after week, they still will place the money doing the same thing.
During World Cup, how much money did you lose altogether?
Altogether, I lost about $12,000.
$12,000?
Yes.
And where did you find that money to return to pay back?
Well, I have to go to my parents and my father just to beg him to help me this way out. Well, the first thing he told me is to write down what he's going to tell me to write down. He told me to write 20 times or said I will not gamble anymore, and 20 times of I will not gamble on soccer anymore, and then lastly he said that I will not borrow Loanshark anymore.
Did you do that?
Yes, I do that everything. Well, I thought by writing all this, my father will help me.
That didn't stop Ken's downward spiral into the gambling world. Each time he ran up huge debts, he would rely on his father to settle them for him.
Those few times that you went to your father for money, if he hadn't lent you the money, what would you have done?
For me, I just don't bother because I know that eventually they will help me.
So you knew that because your family had the money to help you?
I know. How also they still will help me. So I just don't care. Let the loan shark pay sticker or whatever, I just don't care, but I know they will help me.
But after the fourth time, Ken's father decided he's had